And good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all our viewers around the globe. This is Maya Aguilar once again, live from Imari, Nigeria, and I will be once again your host for today. So once again, thank you to everyone who have joined us last Saturday on our successful first International Medical Forum. And since Saturday, we have been receiving a lot of questions, queries about this amazing product of Emery called Vagine Intimate Gel, and of course, a lot of questions with regards with the woman reproductive health. And today, of course, another event that is coming up on your way. Today's event is about the insights of woman reproductive health, plus a surprise speaker for everyone. And also today, joining us are the two amazing panelists from our last successful international medical forum. Okay, so without taking much of your time, okay, let me now introduce to you our first speaker. Are you all ready? I'm sure everyone is ready with their questions. For those who haven't, for those people who haven't answered their question last Saturday. So again, our first speaker, he's a naturopathic doctor and also a health consultant. Emery Nigeria's or Emery First or Growth University Training Director all the way from Malaysia, Dr. Khan Kokmin. Good morning, Dr. Khan. Good evening in Malaysia.
Good morning, May
Hello,
Ann. How
Dr.
are
Khan.
you? Hello. Hello, May Ann. Hello, everyone.
Welcome back once again.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you for
could you
having
greet
me.
everyone again, Dr. Khan?
Hello, everyone. Hello. Thank you for joining us.
Okay, so as I've mentioned a while ago, a lot of people have been asking questions, follow-up questions with regard with the woman's reproductive health. That's why we are doing this follow-up event once again today. So the floor is yours, Dr. Khan.
Thank you, May Ann. Thank you. So once again, good morning to our friends in Nigeria and in Ghana, and good evening for those for you who are in Malaysia or in other parts of the world. And thank you again for joining us. And today I'm going to bring you a little bit the insights of women reproductive health. As mentioned by me, Anne, last Saturday we have actually discussed about the woman reproductive health, in especially in Asia and also in Africa. And today, let me just go into a little bit deeper about the woman reproductive health. If you still remember what I've presented during my last, during the forum, I did mentions about the reproductive tract infections, and I did mention about the statistics about these reproductive tract infections globally, which is about 40% of women having these problems. And today, I would like to start with the statistic in Ghana. And according to this statistic, and if you look at the reports in 2012, according to the statistic, the people having these reproductive tract infections in Ghana is actually up to 22%, which means these 2 out of 10 women will have these problems. And out of these patients who have these reproductive tract infections, most of them are suffering from abnormal smell, abnormal color, abnormal volumes, and also pain on intercourse. And this is not only in Ghana. I believe this is also happens in Nigeria and also other parts of the world. And of course, in order for us to understand, or in order for us to know what is the cause, or what is the cause of these problems, we need to understand the structures or anatomies of the female reproductive system. And let me just give you a brief idea about this female reproductive system. If you look at the diagram, this is actually the lateral views of the woman reproductive system. Can you see where is the vagina? And of course, don't look at yourself. Please look at the diagram. And if you can see clearly, the vagina is right in the middle. And if you see carefully, at the back of the vagina is actually the anus. And in the front is actually our urethra. And because of the positions of the vagina, which is next to the anus and also the urethra, our vagina is actually frequently attacked by the bacteria. And let me just show you the interior, I mean the front view of the female reproductive system. And this is the overall female reproductive system. Or let me put it this way: if I were to ask you, you know, for female reproductive system is actually consists of a few parts, namely uterus, ovary, and vagina. I believe every one of us we know about it. But do you know what is the functions of ovary? Of course, the functions of ovary is actually to produce egg, and the functions of uterus, of course, is to actually to conceive a baby. It's actually the place for the baby to grow. And let me ask you this: what is the functions of vagina? I believe many of you have never thought about that, because I asked the same questions not only in Africa and also in Asia, in China, in Philippines, and none of them give me the correct answer. And most of the times they only tell me, you know, this vagina is actually a place for you to have pleasure. I will not say wrong, but you know, it's not only for you to have pleasure. Vagina actually has a very more important functions. If you still remember what I presented earlier, the the situations or the locations of vagina is very close to anus. You know, as I mentioned earlier, you know, anus, there are a lot of bacteria in the anus, and this vagina, the functions of vagina is actually to protect the bacteria from coming into the uterus and coming into the ovary. And that is actually the functions or the major roles of the vagina. And why is it so? Because this vagina, it has the self-defense mechanisms, or put it this way, naturally it has the functions to protect the ovary and also the uterus from bacterial infection. And of course, in order for us to do that, we need to have a healthy vagina. And what is a healthy vagina? And I believe right now I cannot see you. I don't know how many of you are male and how many of you are women, but I bet not every woman know what is a healthy vagina. And or maybe I should put it this way. I also used to ask these questions. How many of you, if you are a lady, if you are a woman, how many of you have seen your own vagina? I believe none of you do that, because I used to share with my audience. You know, the first time when I attended medical this when I was in this medical school, when I first attended this the topic on this reproductive, the female reproductive system. You know, my professor, you know, came into the class, and actually he did ask us one question. He asked you know, he asked the ladies, he said, how many of you have ever seen the vagina? And you know what, none of them say yes, because we don't usually see our own vagina. In fact, you cannot see your own vagina without any helps. I mean, if you really want to see it, of course, you need to, you know, you need the mirror. And what is the reasons the professor asked these questions? Because if you don't see your vagina, you will not know what is the, you know, what is the changes, you know, what, how does it look like, and how are you going to really, you know, take care of the vagina. And again, come back to these questions: what is a healthy vagina? A well healthy vagina needs to be at the correct pH, which is pH 3.5 to 4.4. Again, when I went to, you know, when I travel to these different countries, when I ask the same questions, when I ask you know, whether they know the pH, the correct pH of the vagina, and most of the times they don't know the answer. I did mention about that during my last this forum. And in fact, some of the lady, they thought the vagina is supposed to be alkaline, which is, you know, totally wrong. Again, let me re-emphasize, the pH value of the vagina is supposed to be 3.5 to 4.4, and this figure, or this pH is very important, because when you look at this diagram, you can see this is actually the diagrams of the vagina. When the vagina is at this correct pH, the good bacteria by the name lactobacillus can grow in the vagina, and this lactobacillus is very important. This lactobacillus is just like the army or the security guards of the vagina. With the presence of this lactobacillus, it can actually produce the organic acid. You know, organic acid is something that actually make it acidic. And by producing the organic acid, it's also able to produce the antibacterial peptides and also certain bacteriocin, which is very important in killing off the pathogen. I did mention about this earlier because the vagina is keep invading by the bacteria, and only with the sufficient amount of lactobacillus, our vagina can be protected. And in order for us to have sufficient of lactobacillus, the pH is very important. If the pH go beyond 5, it's only beneficial for the pathogens and not for the good bacteria. So that is the reasons why we need to keep, or we need to maintain the pH of the vagina as such pH. So this is the first very important requirement for a healthy vagina. And of course, aside from this pH, the correct pH, in the vagina we have these epithelial cells, which is the surface layers of the vagina. And on top of these epithelial cells, there's something called TLK. This is something, the Y-shaped things called TLK, and this is actually a receptor. I'll put it this way: this receptor is just like the CCTV. If you remember what I said earlier, lactobacillus is like the security guards. And aside from security guards, our vagina also has our own CCTV. In case someone come in, they bypass the security guards, we have second defense mechanism, which is what we call as a TLK receptor. And this TLK receptor is actually something to detect the pathogens. And this is again the self-cleaning defense system in the vagina. And the moment this TLK receptor detect the pathogens, it will actually stimulate the body to produce the immune protein, which is a kind of this protein to actually kill off the bacteria. And with these two very important system in the vagina, our vagina is actually, we can stay away from the bacteria. Again, this I have to say this every time. When the moment I do presentations for this thing, I always use our vagina just as if I'm a ladies. All right now, because in that sense, I believe you can understand better. All right, so these are the two very important defense mechanisms in our body. But the problem is that nowadays we use a lot of this chemical to clean our vagina. And the moment we use this disinfectant, or even when we use some traditional medicines, and more importantly, if we use antibiotics, when we are suffering from all this itchiness, when we have problems with this gynecological discomfort, we tend to use all this chemical compound. And the moment we use this chemical compound, it can actually kill off the good bacteria in the vagina, particularly antibiotic. As mentioned on Saturday by Dr. Mercy and Dr. Glenda, one of the frequent treatment for bacterial infection, vaginal infections, is actually by using antibiotics. Of course, antibiotic has its good benefits because it can really kill off the bad bacteria, the pathogen. But at the same time, it will also kill the good bacteria. So the moment you use antibiotics or any chemical compound, even if you use a feminine wash, sometimes we thought feminine wash is something good. If you look at the pH, as I mentioned earlier, the pH of the vagina is supposed to be 3.5 to 4.4. And if you look at the pH of the feminine wash, most of them are actually above 5. If you are using feminine wash, which is alkaline relatively to the pH of the vagina, it will only bring up the pH of the vagina. All right, I'll go back to this. So if we are using antibiotics, for example, it will kill the good bacteria and also the bad bacteria at the same time. And not only that, by using all these chemical compound, it will also take away the epithelial cell. If you still remember what I presented just now, on top of the epithelial cell, we have this CCTV by the name TLK. So this is a very important defense system in the vagina as well. By applying this antiseptic, by applying these antibiotics, we are not only killing off the good bacteria, but we are also killing the epithelial cell, the cell in the vagina at the same time. And what happened is that, when you take away this the TLK receptor, when you take away the good bacteria, the bad bacteria is still there because it's so close to the anus, and almost every time the bad bacteria will keep invading the vagina. If the protection is no longer there, the CCTV is no longer there, the security guard is no longer there, what happens is that the bacteria will go into the uterus, and then you go into the vagina like nobody business. It will not only stay in the vagina, it will even go up to the uterus, and even to the ovary. And this is why we need to take care of the vagina in order for us to prevent the invasions of the bacteria into the upper parts of the reproductive system. And also that is the reasons why the woman nowadays are suffering from this bacterial vaginitis or vaginosis. And this bacterial vaginosis is actually a types of vaginal inflammation caused by the overgrowth of the bacteria naturally found in the vagina, which upset the natural balance. I believe if you are a woman, you know what this bacterial vaginosis, because the moment you have these problems, you will tend to have a few very common discomfort. The first very common discomfort is vaginal discharge, which is most of the times, thin, gray, white, or green vaginal discharge. And most of the times, when your infections is very severe, your mucus or your discharge may be very substantial. We also will be very serious, right? So this is one of the symptoms or one of the problems when we are infected with the bacteria. And not only that, this discharge will always come together with this foul smelling, this fish smell. And I believe as a woman, if you are suffering from these problems, you will definitely lose your confidence. Because sometimes we used to say the beauty is actually from inside out. And when you are suffering from these problems, how are you going to be confident? Because every time when you are mixing with people, you can always have that kind of smell. I don't think you will have that kind of confidence. So it will actually not only giving problems physiologically, but also mentally. If we give actually a stress to ourselves. And of course, definitely when we are suffering from bacterial vaginosis, the vaginal itch, the itching is also very intense, and this is the problems that men will never understand. Even though I'm not a woman, but I really understand how does it feel. Okay, so the vaginal itch is something that also trouble the woman with bacterial vaginosis. And of course, you are also suffering from this burning during urination. All these are symptoms of this bacterial vaginosis, which happens because of the bacterial invasions into the vagina. And what are actually the causes of this bacterial vaginosis? Of course, bacterial vaginosis is only a common term. It's not only confined to bacterial vaginosis. Sometimes it can be also caused by candida. It can also caused by this trichomonas vaginosis. I only make generalizations. All right. And there are a few causes for this BV or bacterial vaginosis. The first one, it has something to do with the man. All right. If you are a man, please listen carefully. The first one is the unprotected sex. During our intimate, during our during the sex, the pH of the semen is actually alkaline, which is a 7.1, which is also alkaline. If you still remember, I need to remind you again, you still remember the pH of the vagina is only 3.5 to 4.4. Just imagine you're putting in something so alkaline, 7.1, into the vagina, which is only 3.5 to 4.4. What will happen? It will definitely change the pH of the vagina. And not only that, men, the difference between men and women is that men share the same passage. The channel for this, the urethra, the passage for urine and actually the semen is actually the same. What I'm trying to say is that the moment you actually eject the semen into the vagina, you are actually at the same time bringing in the bacteria as well. Because I bet you never watch before you have the activity. And this unprotected sex definitely will bring the bacteria into the vagina, and that is something that actually encourage the growth of the bacteria into the vagina. And this is one of the causes of BV. And number two is that the antibiotic I did mention earlier, this misuse, I will not say misuse, but overusing of this antibiotic is actually a major, I would say, the major problems for this bacterial vaginosis. If you still remember what presented by Dr. Mercy and Dr. Glenda during the last forum, antibiotic, I would say at the moment is the only treatment for people with bacterial vaginosis or candidiasis. But the problem is that the recurrence of this BV is very high. Recurrent means it will come back again. And most of the times, if you keep using the antibiotic in long term, it will actually, it will not solve the problem, put it this way, it will not solve the problems. It will only make the problems worse. All right. So if you are suffering from BV, if you are using too much of antibiotics, this might be one of the trigger factor that give risk to even severe problems. All right. And number three, dodging. Dodging means you're over cleaning the vagina, and of course people may say, do I really need to clean my vagina? Of course you need to clean your vagina. What if I clean it, I just clean it too much? This is what I call the dodging. The problem is that when you're cleaning too much, you just remember again the pH. What is the pH of the water? Have you ever thought what is the pH of the water, the tap water? Because I believe when you do the dodging, you definitely use water, right? The pH of water is actually about 6.5 or to 7. Again, it's relatively alkaline than the pH of the vagina. Just imagine you keep on dodging your vagina, you keep on putting in something more alkaline. Definitely, it will not only changing the pH, but also at the same time it will wash away the good bacteria, and that could be the problems of BV as well. All right, number 4, menstrual period. All right, when during the menstruations, when the blood flow through the vagina and is absorbed into the tampon or pads and sits in place, it can raise the pH level in the vagina. Again, the pH of the blood is about 7.35 to 7.45, which is again alkaline. All right, what happened is that during the menstruations, this tampon tends to absorb the blood. And I believe, because I did the survey before, I asked the women in Africa before how frequent they change their sanitary pads, and I believe some of them, they can actually, they use the entire, the one sanitary pads for the entire day, because they said they have no time to change the sanitary pads. You see, this is during this menstrual cycle, as I mentioned earlier. The pH, because of the pH, the pH of the changing of the pH, actually the bacteria is actually start growing. Just imagine you are putting something so nutritious into the vagina, and it's actually promote the growth of the bad bacteria, and definitely it will actually, you're actually promoting the bad bacteria, and that is the reasons why you have this BV. And the last one, long sitting and wearing tight pants. The how should I put it? The bad bacteria. Sometimes, most of the times, if you're seated for too long, when you're wearing these tight pants, it's actually you're lacking of this ventilation. What happens is that you tends to create the heat in the vagina. Not only heat, it also tends to create some moisture in the intimate part as well. And what happens is that the heat and also this moisture are very good for the bad bacteria. You are actually creating an environment for the bad bacteria to grow. So that is also the reasons why you are keep infected by this bacteria. So these are the causes of the BV. And if any of you have this so-called doing these things, so please stop it, because all these things will only promote this bacterial vaginosis. And as I mentioned earlier, this bacterial vaginosis, if you take it lightly, what happens is that the bacteria will go from the vagina up to the uterus, the cervix, the uterus, and also the ovary. And what happens is that when they go up to the cervix, so it will cause cervical erosions. And what is not only the cervical erosion, sometimes it may also cause cervical cancer. And in fact, cervical cancer, right, at the moment, cervical cancer, is actually rising globally. It's getting, it's the young woman is getting, the cases of this cervical cancer in young women is getting more and more. And the cause of cervical cancer is actually caused by something called HPV, which is a human papilloma virus. It's actually a virus. And according to certain journal, This, when you have sufficient of lactobacillus in the vagina, it can actually reduce the risk of getting infected by HPV. In other words, if your vagina is not protected, when you do not have sufficient of this good bacteria, your chances of getting cervical cancer is also very high, because you tends to be infected by this HPV virus are higher. All right. So when you go up to cervix, and this is what will happen. When it go up further, go into the uterus, it may also cause abortion. And not only abortion, it may also cause infertility, and in certain cases, it may also cause premature baby. As I mentioned earlier, the functions of the uterus is actually for the baby to grow. Once the egg is fertilized, the fetus need to stay in the uterus. What happens is that when the bacteria invade the uterus, definitely this fetus can no longer grow, and this is the problems. This is the reasons why you may have these abortions and also miscarriage sometimes. All right, so this is what happens when the bacteria go into the uterus. And if you go further, it will go into the fallopian tubes as well. And when it go into the fallopian tube, it may also cause ectopic pregnancy. It means the baby, the fetus, it does not grow in the uterus. It go outside the uterus most of the times in the fallopian tube. And not only that, it may also cause a pelvic inflammatory infection. This pelvic inflammatory infection may actually cause obstructions of the fallopian tube. I believe you know the functions of fallopian tube. Fallopian tube is actually the passage for this the egg. The egg is actually developed or excrete in the ovary. It needs to bring you need to bring the egg into the uterus for it to for the fetus to grow. But the problem is that when you have this pelvic inflammatory infections, you may tend to obstruct the passage, and that's also the reasons why it causes the infertility. And not only that, when it goes into the ovary, and it may cause inflammations of the ovary, and sometimes it may also cause this ovarian cyst. So these are the problems with the infections. So that is the reasons why we need to take care of the vagina in order for us to take care of the uterus and also the ovary. And to end this, I would like to share with you one of the journal that I managed to find. As I mentioned earlier, even though this bacterial vaginosis, the infections is relatively common, but according to this journal, this lactobacillus species is very important. The good bacteria in the vagina is very important, because this good bacteria can actually, can maintain the vaginal ecosystem in a healthy conditions by productions of antimicrobial substances, meaning that it can protect the vagina by producing the antimicrobial substances. And depletions of this lactobacilli in the vagina will result in bacterial vaginosis, where the normal flora is replaced by several bacterial pathogens. And BV may also cause complications such as a premature labor, low birth weight, and also increased risk of HIV acquisitions as well. And the current recommendation antibiotics treatments for BV are not always effective. I think this is a very important statement. Are not always effective and often lead to recurrence of the bacterial infections. And more importantly, in the conclusions of that article, all right, it says that the optimum treatments and prophylaxis against BV infections should preferably be natural, non-toxic for humans, or healthy vaginal microflora, means it will not harm the good bacteria, all right, and is biodegradable and cost effective. And such a formulation could be made from antimicrobial produced by lactobacillus species in combinations with other safe and effective substances, meaning that this antimicrobial this agent supposed to be produced by the good bacteria in the vagina. All right, and this natural antimicrobial, while inhibiting growth of pathogens, will help to survive and promote the growth of the native lactobacillus species, thereby supporting the natural defense against pathogenic organism. All right, so combining with all this the technology, this will be more effective than currently used antibiotic. I think this is a very good so-called conclusion, meaning that this medical field, they are also looking for something natural, can take away the pathogen without without harming the good bacteria, and also it has to be very natural. I think that this is something that we are looking in, and to know the answer, I believe Michelle later will share with you, and I believe we managed to find a solution for that. And just stay tuned, and I think Michelle will give you the answer. All right. I think with that, I will end my sharing. And thank you very much. I will pass the floor to Mayan. Thank you, Mayan. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. Yes, thank you so much again, Dr. Khan. A very brief but very informative discussion about the woman's reproductive system. Just a recap for everyone. Okay, Dr. Khan just discussed to us the main parts and main functions of the reproductive system. It's very important that us women, not only women, but also men, knows about the parts and the functions of the reproductive system. Because as we all know, vagina, okay, maybe they were just saying that vagina has just very few functions, but vagina is actually our protective cover to all the parts of our reproductive system. So if we know how to take care our intimate part or our vagina, of course, it will prevent us from having more serious problems in our internal parts or in our internal reproductive system. So thank you so much once again, Dr. Ken. And for sure, I'm seeing a lot of questions now in our chat box. So just keep on chatting your questions later on. We will have enough time or ample time for our speakers to answer these questions. Okay. Thank you so
Mayan. Thank
much
you.
once
Bye.
again,
See
Dr.
you.
Kan. I'll see
Thank
you
you.
later. I'll see you in a few moments, Dr. Kan. Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of questions also, inquiries from our chat box that if they can get a copy of this video, of this recording. Of course, we will be sending, it will be automatically sent to all your emails after our training, okay? So once again, before I continue, or before I introduce to you our next speaker, let us all watch first this short commercial. And you're still watching us to our episode today about the insight of women reproductive health. So once again, welcome to our attendees, okay, for those who just log in to our 104 live attendees for today. So welcome once again. If you have questions regarding with our topics today, just keep on typing your questions in our comment box and we will have enough time later on. Dr. Khan will be joining us later on again to answer these questions, okay? So without further ado, let me now introduce to you our next speaker. Okay, a while ago, Dr. Khan, as I've mentioned, he discussed the common problems of women regarding with their reproductive system. And of course, now we will be showing you and discussing you on how can we prevent all of these issues, okay? I've mentioned a while ago that another speaker for today will be joining us from one of our panelists last Saturday. So without taking much of your time, once again, let us all welcome Emery Philippines product trainer and also a senior nutritionist to give us more information about this amazing product of Emery, the Vagine Refreshing Intimate Gel. Let us all welcome Miss Michelle
Hi,
Pang. Welcome,
Mayan.
Miss
Hi,
Michelle.
everyone. Hello.
Hello. Can you greet everyone, Miss
Hi,
Michelle
everyone.
Pang?
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I'm actually very happy to be here again today after the forum last Saturday. Yes, thank you, Mayan. And thank you, Dr. Khan, for the great insights. So we have heard from Dr. Khan, yeah, on the
Okay.
female reproductive problems that women encounter and the causes. And from Dr. Khan's presentation and explanation, we understand that a formulation that contains antimicrobials produced by lactobacillus in combination with safe and effective substances can be of great help in improving women's vagina's health. Okay, and these antimicrobials, they are able to inhibit the growth of pathogen and increase the growth or enhance the growth of the good bacteria or the native lactobacillus in the vagina, and therefore supporting the natural defense of the vagina. So through the understanding of what women encounter and what we truly want to feel confident and stay happy and vibrant, as well as the science on how we can help women to achieve this, is what motivated Emery to launch Virgin. Well, Virgin is specially formulated with ingredients that are gentle and safe, and it serves as a holistic alternative for present-day women to improve our vaginal health, hence reducing vaginal discomforts and vaginal infection. By enhancing the growth of beneficial bacteria, that is lactobacillus, and inhibiting the bad bacteria. And Virgin regulates the pH in the vagina, and a healthy vagina's pH ranges from 3.5 to 4.4, which is acidic. Ultimately, Virgin helps to improve the overall female reproductive system. So what are the key ingredients in Virgin? Well, Virgin is formulated using ingredients that are gentle and safe to the vaginal mucus and also the epithelial cells. Virgin does not contain any chemical disinfectants, and it does not contain the cleansing or the cleaning agents that are found in feminine wash. And there's no alcohol, no drugs, no antibiotics, and no heavy metals in Virgin. Well, therefore, Virgin is safe to use. The benefit of Virgin lies in its 7 key ingredients. So what are they? So the first ingredients here is the antibacterial and immunopeptides. And these are the antimicrobial peptides. And they help to inhibit the growth of bad bacteria. It stimulates the body innate immunity or the vagina innate immunity to kill bad bacteria. Second is the organic acid, or known as the lactic acid. Well, the organic acid has the antibacterial property, and it helps to regulate the pH in the vagina. Third is the seaweed extract or the algae extract. It has is high in nutritional value, and the extracted substance has certain inhibition and prevention effect on pathogen. Fourth is the hyaluronic acid. It's a very unique ingredient because it has a unique moisturizing effect, and it promotes nutrient absorption by the vaginal cells and the skin. It increases elasticity and promotes cell repair. Fifth is the polysaccharides, or known as the prebiotics. It provides nutrients to the good bacteria. And with that, it actually improves the growth of the good bacteria, and also to ensure that the good bacteria is functioning optimally. Vitamin E. Vitamin E maintains the delicate balance of the female hormones and improves symptoms due to hormonal deficiency. And lastly, the 100% natural essential oil, which is the ylang-ylang essential oil. It helps to inhibit the bad bacteria. It relaxes calms and soothes our emotion and our mind. So here you go with the function of this these 7 key ingredients in. So besides, what are the in summary, what are the benefits of virgin? We can divide them into 3 main benefits. First of all, it enhances the friendly bacteria and inhibits the bad bacteria. With this, it enhances the self-cleaning and defense of the female reproductive system, thus reducing infections. Secondly, it moisturizes and tightens the vagina by promoting cell repair and restore elasticity. This is due to the ingredient the hyaluronic acid. Okay. Besides that, the nutrients in virgin nourishes the cells in the vagina. And thirdly, with a healthy vagina, it helps to improve intimacy between couples. The essential oils emits a refreshing aroma that relaxes your mind and emotion. Okay, and virgin helps to stimulate the excretion of pheromones. Well, pheromones are substances that are excreted by the body that have potential to make us more attractive to the opposite sex. So this makes a woman more the 3 main benefit of virgin. So what are the other key features of virgin? So first of all, the virgin patent. Virgin is a patented product or a patented ingredient, and there are 2 patents in the market. First is the innovation patent, and the second one is the conventional patent. So the innovation patent refers to a new creation or a new invention. As for the conventional patents, it refers to the enhancement to the ingredients of an existing product. With virgin, virgin is a innovation patent. So this denotes that virgin is unique and there's no other in the market, right? Secondly, virgin is scientifically proven to enhance beneficial bacteria, that is lactobacillus, and virgin has the anti-pathogenic properties, right? It helps to restore the vaginal immunity, and the virgin refreshing intimate gel, it can spread evenly and cling on the vaginal wall effectively, and the nutrients in the gel is being released slowly over a period of 8 hours. This is to ensure that the nutrients in virgin is being absorbed optimally into the cells for cell repair and for nourishment. And the ingredients in virgin is gentle and safe and non-irritant. Research and development on virgin was carried out several years before it is launched in the market. And virgin was first launched in China and Taiwan due to the large population in this country. And virgin is now available in the Southeast Asian countries and as well as the African region. So the next feature is the manufacturing, the virgin manufacturing facilities. Well, virgin is manufactured in a sole manufacturing facilities built in compliance with pharmaceutical standard. And these facilities is automated and monitored closely under a stringent 24 hours monitoring system. The facilities produces up to 140,000 pieces of virgin a day, and the virgin manufacturing facility has been certified by the US FDA in year 2019. So these are the features of Virgin. Key features of Virgin. So besides the ingredients and the key ingredients and the key features of Virgin, we have gathered feedbacks from our Virgin users. So based on the feedback that we have collected from 100 Virgin users, and over 90% of them commented that they experienced great improvement after using Virgin. Well, over 90% of users agreed that Virgin helped to eliminate odor. And Virgin helps to reduce infection and itchiness, relieve redness and pain. Where over 95% of users agreed that Virgin is highly moisturizing, it has tightening effect, and it improves intimacy. Besides users' feedback, we have done a Virgin clinical test, okay, in the Philippines, which is led by Dr. Glenda, okay, and this Virgin clinical test was carried out on 30 female participants aged between 18 to 60 years old, and they are required to administrate Virgin daily for a duration of 2 weeks. So prior to the use of Virgin, participants were required to undergo a pap smear test, a high vaginal swab test, and answer a symptom questionnaire. After 2 weeks of usage, participants are required to undergo a follow-up high vaginal swab test and answer a follow-up symptom questionnaire. So after 2 weeks of usage, so these are the results. So the first results shows here, Virgin can effectively reduce vaginal discomforts. This includes itching, burning, hurting, irritation, dryness, discharge, and odor, just after using Virgin for a period of 2 weeks. And the second result shows that Virgin helps to reduce vaginal infection. This includes bacterial infection, trichomonas infection, and fungal infection. So you can see that Virgin has exhibited great effectiveness in reducing vaginal discomfort and vaginal infection. So from the time when Virgin was first launched in China in year 2018 till date, where now Virgin is available in other parts of the world, Virgin has helped more than 1 million women from different countries around the world to improve their intimate issues. This includes discharged, itchiness, vaginal laxity, dryness, and etc. With more than 100 doctors agreed and satisfied with the results. Well, Virgin now is available in countries like China, Nigeria, Ghana, the Philippines, Malaysia, and Brunei. So with the Virgin patent, the scientific studies, the state-of-the-art manufacturing facilities, and the numerous number of satisfied customers or users, okay, we are confident that Virgin is able to help women around the world, regardless of age, race, ethnicity, to be confident and be vibrant and happy always. So I would like to end my presentation today with this quote. The most beautiful thing a woman can wear is confidence. So thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much once again, Miss Michelle. Thank you for giving us another informative details about our amazing product, the Vagine Intimate Gel. And of course, for giving us a recap of the benefits and the ingredients, the key active ingredients of our Vagine. Thank you so much. And of course, I will now bring back to this platform Dr. Kan. As I promised a while ago, we will have a Q&A portion for our topic today, which is vagina and also the common problems in women reproductive system. So we have collected already some questions from our attendees. Okay, so I'll be asking question, Dr. Ken and Miss Michelle, and both of you can share your thoughts about this question. Okay, let me start. Okay, my first question from Miss Azuka Sandra, okay? Her question is, after using Vagine, I feel pains. Is this normal? Dr. Kan?
Can you please repeat the questions? Feel pain?
Okay, after using Vagine, she's feeling some pains. She did not specify what pains are this, but she just mentioned pains.
Well,
Okay.
well, it depends. It depends on what kind of pain. Sometimes when using Virgin, some of the user they will feel what we call as a contractions of the uterus. So that then it actually cause a little of pain. But of course, it depends on the. As I said, this is not a specific. If say for example, someone has this fibroid, for example, he may also have the different kind of pain. But usually for this kind of reaction, if this is the healing crisis, the pain will not last for long. Usually within the 3 to 5 days, it will disappear. But if the pain prolong, it's better to seek medical attention because you need to check what is really happening.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Kan. And just a follow-up question about this, Miss Michelle. How about a burning sensation after using Vagine? I think we answered this question last Saturday, but can we just give
Yeah.
them a recap about the burning sensation that they feel after using Vagine?
Okay. This will happen for those who just started using Virgin. Basically, the first tube when they are using Virgin. So as we know that Virgin contains the organic acid. So with that, Virgin's gel is acidic, right? So if our vagina is slightly alkaline, okay, when we first use that, with the acid and alkaline reaction, it will give you that burning sensation. But once that pH has been regulated to the healthy pH range, which is 3.5 to 4.4, all right, then that burning sensation will, it will disappear.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Ken and Miss Michelle. So another question from Faith Olasupo, okay? Her question is, can vaginal infection cause abdominal pain? Dr. Kan?
Well, it depends on the how serious is the infections. You say, for example, the infection has caused this pelvic inflammatory infections, for example, so it will definitely cause pain to the abdominal. So yeah, so it depends the severity of the infection.
But Dr. Kan, what are the common symptoms that a woman will initially observe once they have vaginal infection?
Well, common symptoms as what I presented just now, like this abnormal discharge, foul smelling, itchy, burning sensation. Those are the common symptoms. But beyond that, that might be certain underlying disease.
Thank you so much. And another question from Abusede Olabode, okay? Please, what are the causes of PCOS, okay? What Emery products can correct it? So this is her question. Miss Michelle, can you help us with this question?
Okay. Well, PCOS can be genetic, all right? It can be also due to the lifestyle, our diet and our lifestyle is that will actually cause PCOS. Well, in terms of how Virgin be able to help, but we have testimonials, on users with PCOS, and after using a Virgin for a couple of months, their PCOS condition has improved. So I would say that people with PCOS, they can actually try Virgin.
Okay. So next question from Mrs. Yamosa. Okay. A client that has recorded menopause used Vagine and said she started bleeding again. So is this normal, Dr. Khan? Can you please help us to answer this question?
Well, it depends on the bleeding. If say, for example, the bleeding is only for a very short time, so this is a common. This can be a common healing crisis, because the problem is that, especially for those the perimenopause, they have just started their menopause. That was the time actually. The hormone is still fluctuate. So the moment you use a virgin, it may actually cause the hormone to fluctuate. So it may give a kind of slight bleeding, but that is normal. If let's say the bleeding is very long and is persistent, you better go to check, because bleeding after menopause is not something good. It may lead to more severe problems. So it depends on the durations of the bleeding.
So it's gonna be case to case basis still on the
Yes, yes.
bleeding. Okay. So another question, Miss Michelle. I got this question actually from my WhatsApp account. Okay. So is Vagine safe for a woman who are using any type of contraceptive?
Well, it depends on what kind of contraceptive that the woman is using. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Well, we need to. I mean, there's a lot of different kind of contraceptive. So I would say that we need to really look into what are the contraceptive that a woman is using, and
Mm-mm.
with that we be able to advise on this. Yeah.
Okay. So another question from Mrs. Sandra. Why do women, a while ago, someone asked a question about burning sensation after using Vagine. Now she is asking, is it normal to have an itchiness in the intimate part after using Vagine? Dr. Khan?
Can you repeat? You mean
She is
itchiness
feeling
after
itchiness,
using? All right.
uh,
Okay.
itchiness after using Vagine.
All right. That is, I can say that is one of the common healing crises as well. The problem is that usually when we are suffering from this itchiness, it can be due to bacterial infections or these candida infections, and oftentimes this bacterial and fungus is actually it stay together. And the moment you use a virgin actually it can kill bacteria, or it can inhibit bacteria faster than fungus. So the moment you use virgin, there is a slight this is a quick drops of this bacteria, and when this bacteria drop, it will actually in a way trigger the fungus to trigger the itchiness. So that is the reasons why we have this kind of short periods of itchiness, but usually it will not last long. Usually within 3 to 5 days it will go away. But if let's say the itchiness persists, that means the infections is quite severe. So you need to continue using virgin until your pH of the vagina restore and this immunity restore. Then it will recover.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Khan. Another question from Miss Rita. Can someone with ovarian cysts trying to conceive use Vagine? Miss Michelle, can you help us with this question? Let me
Okay.
repeat it. Okay. Can someone with ovarian cysts trying to conceive use Vagine?
Okay. Well, I would say that because virgin, basically the ingredients in virgin is able to nourish the ovary. Okay, it improves the function of the ovary. Well, in terms of whether it will help to conceive, that will actually it's very much depends on the overall female reproductive system, okay, and the health of the female reproductive system. But I will say that she can actually try using virgin, because looking at the benefit of virgin, where it helps to nourishes the ovary, it helps to improve the female reproductive system, and this will actually help to in terms of the chances there might be there's an improvement. If there's an improvement that is being exhibit there, then it might actually increase the chances. But well, I cannot say that I can't actually say it can or how, but it is able to help to improve the overall female reproductive system.
Okay, thank you so much. And another question from Jessica Okoro. Is vagine safe for pregnant women and breastfeeding mom? Dr. Khan?
Well,
One of the most frequently asked question, but once
yeah.
and for all, let us answer this question once again.
Yeah, you see, as explained by the Michelle, virgin is actually made with the natural ingredients, so it's actually safe. It's actually safe for everyone. But the problem is that for a pregnant lady, especially during the first trimester, the first 3 months, the fetus is not very stable. If it so happened that that time you use virgin and something happened, so someone will put blame on the products. That is the reasons why usually we don't recommend. But as I mentioned earlier, the virgin is safe. Is safe. The only problem is this.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Khan. So one more question. Actually, it's not part of my list, but usually when they ask this type of questions about pregnant women, the second question, the follow-up question about that is this question. What is the age of a woman that they can start using vagine already? How young can they use? The age? How young can they use vagine as a starter? Miss Michelle?
Okay, once they have once they hit puberty, they can actually use virgin. Yeah.
Okay. So thank you so much once again, Miss Michelle and Dr. Khan. So thank you for answering these questions. I'm sure all our attendees who've asked the question got a satisfying answers. Okay. So once again, for those who are asking question, we will be sending you a recorded video for this training because I think in Nigeria we're having a little issue with the internet connection because we're having heavy rains today in
Okay.
Nigeria. Okay. So thank you so much once again, Dr. Khan and Miss Michelle. Thank
Thank
you.
you, Ian. Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Thank you.
and
And of course, as we have mentioned a while ago, we also have a very special guest joining us for today. But before I finally introduce to you this special person, let us all watch this short commercial break. And you are still watching us for our today's episode. And as I've promised a while ago, we have a very special guest for everyone. Okay. A while ago, Dr. Ken and Miss Michelle have talked about the amazing products of Emery and how it can help women's reproductive health. Now, may I call on a very special person, okay, representing Emery in the business aspect. This person is currently our number one income earner in Emery, Africa and Middle East, a very respectable leader and also a mentor to everyone. Let us all welcome Mr. Daniel Sekpe. Hello, Mr. Dan.
Hello, Mehan.
Hi,
Hi.
all the
Yeah,
way
how you
from the
doing?
beautiful city or country of Ghana, Mr. Daniel Sekpe. How are you, Mr. Daniel?
Fantastic. I'm blessed this morning and I hope you are doing well as well.
We are doing well. So we are very privileged for you to be part of our program for today. So as I've mentioned a while ago, we will be talking more about the Emery business aspect. Okay,
Okay.
because of course all we want to have now is a good health, but of course we also want to have a good health in our bank accounts. Okay, so I'll be asking some few questions, and if you can share to us your Emery business. Okay, so let me start my first question, Mr. Sekpe. Is it okay?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay. So, Mr. Sekpe, why did you choose Emery Business? Can you give us a short information what Emery Business all about, and if you can share with us why did you choose Emery?
Well, Emery is a network marketing income opportunity that gives us personal franchise to own a business with a global brand. The reason why I chose Emery or why I came into this industry is the fact that this industry allows you with minimum capital to be able to own a business without all the pressures and the overheads of traditional business and be able to stay as profitable and sometimes even more profitable than some businesses in the traditional sense of business. So I personally was introduced to Emery by my good friend Mr. Jonas Vigredor on the 4th of July, Wednesday 2018 for the first
Wow.
presentation.
Very
And
specific.
oh yeah. And when I attended that meeting, I was privileged to meet the CEO, our president, also Mr. Yap, and our vice president, Madam Queen Komoda, and Mr. Iris Mosaso, the marketing manager for Africa. And sitting there, and they were explaining their vision about this amazing company that they were bringing to Africa. From the beginning, I really just folded my hands, just listening in until this amazing product called Virgin came on the screen. And the moment Virgin came on the screen, my face lit up. I sat up and became excited. And listening to the explanation about Virgin, the ingredients and the benefits of Virgin, I knew that we were in for a big business. Because in 2011, a friend of mine, a Jewish friend, told me in Honolulu, Hawaii, that it is 10 times faster to do business dealing in a female product than dealing in any other product. And looking at Virgin, the WHO stipulated in 2007 that 83% of all our mothers, wives, daughters, and sisters have a kind of gynecological problem. Sometimes they know, sometimes they don't know. And Dr. Khan and Ms. Tang have done a good job expatiating on some of those problems and explaining to us how Virgin can benefit us. So looking at that, I knew that we're in a big market. Now, again, June last year, the WHO published a report that says that 1 million people get sexually transmitted infections on daily basis. Now, when I look at all these problems and look at what Virgin is presented and what Virgin is being said can do at that time, all I could see is solution to a huge problem in a huge market with a potential of about 500 billion ladies 500 million ladies in Africa. Now, if the numbers are right, money, they say, it comes as a result or as a solution for problems solved. Therefore, if we could take these products literally and serve it to our mothers, wives, daughters, and sisters, then we know that it was going to pay us really, really good. And so just
Wow.
after Virgin, my presentation was made, and I left actually for church. But like I said, I joined Emery because one, I met the CEO, and for the first time in my MLM history, a company that has not launched anywhere in Africa, has not sold a single product, the global CEO flew down to Africa to do a presentation himself with the president for Africa and with his top corporate team. At that meeting, they told us that they have already procured office, paid 5 years advance, and refurbishing the office. They've already started work to register the product. And people who have been in this industry already know that sometimes we have to hustle, peddle products illegally for months and months until those products are registered for us to do business. But Emery did this upfront. Now, a few days later, we were in the office for a presentation by Madam Queen, and they took us through this amazing compensation plan that is attached to this product called Virgin. And the numbers look too good to be true. But honestly, if the product was going to work, even as Ms. Michelle and Dr. Khan explained, then the numbers shouldn't have been too good to be true for us. And so we saw a chance not only to alter our finances, but also to improve the life of thousands, possibly millions of mothers, wives, daughters, and sisters around us. And so that was why we actually came into Emery, and that was why I came into Emery. And joining Emery, honestly, Emery has not failed me. Neither has it failed anybody who has joined Emery so far. I joined Emery, enrolled, I think, on the 4th of October, which was a test registration. It was actually not the commencement of the business, a test registration for about 8 leaders. That was Mr. Jonas Vigbedo, Madam Unisco, myself, Chidi Choli, Mr. Andrew Ano Apo, and then Fred Mensah. Those were a test registration. But on the 15th of October, Emery started operation. Within 5 weeks, we had one of our partners that had earned over $7,000. That was in the person of Mr. Andrew Ano Apo. Now, which business you start and within 5 weeks earn over $7,000? You probably, in traditional business, I would not even have finished painting my shop, let alone think of ordering goods to put in. But within 5 weeks, this guy has made over $7,000. And then the CEO invited us to Dubai to witness Emery Elite Managers trip. And when we got there, we met human beings who were making thousands of dollars in short moments. We saw grandmothers, we saw grandfathers. We even met the potential qualifiers of our 2 houses. And so we became literally lit up. And when we came back, it has been one success story after the other. As we speak, just this dawn, around 10 p.m. actually, we just produced a new director. And I'm sure the noise in your office in Nigeria is because there is a celebration going on right now.
Yes, that you are correct, Mr. Sekme.
A new director who has taken home over $80,000 in 1 year of doing business with Emery. Plus, he's going to walk home with a brand new car. We have Lioness, who, as part of our success stories in Emery, walked home with $105,025 and bought herself a Mercedes-Benz. Now, you should listen to this lady's story, where she was exactly 13 months ago before she joined Emery. And that was just one of the reasons why we joined, just to inspire people. We had one of our directors, who is currently a 1-star director, Dr. John Mukoro, who hammered over 100,000, but the household accounts were separated. If you had added the wife's account, it would be over 100,000. But let's say $85,000 plus a brand new car. Myself, at a point, I earned $104,000, but that is history now. Mr. Prince Erikujo, through this business, has earned over $120,000. Again, that is history, because yesterday he hammered in another $16,100. A few days earlier, he earned $6,000. And so much is going on in this business. We have so many amazing leaders, elite managers. And so when we saw this income opportunity, we knew that this was it for us. And so we had no option than to do business with Emery. Because like one of my upline actually says, Emery came to wipe tears. And it is not only going to be menstruation tears. It's not going to be irregular menses tears. It's not going to be only hormonal balance tears or bacterial vaginosis or endometritis tears. But Emery is also here to wipe financial tears, because people's accounts have been bloating since Emery started in Africa. And this is why I am in Emery, and this is why I'm a proud ambassador of Virgin. In fact, this one here I put on my status that I have been in the vaginal health business since. And if you have painful menses, get in touch with me. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Wow, Mr. Sekpe. I think you know more things about the reproductive system of women than other women. Okay, you can discuss even more. Okay, my next question, Mr. Sekpe, is that I know you've mentioned a while ago some of the success stories of your business partner, but I just want you to give us a short recap of your achievements so far in Emery that has changed not just your life, but change the life of your business partners and of course your family.
Yeah, like I always tell my friends, I always have this story called "Remember We're Once Like You." When I came into Emery 19 months ago, I came into Emery with borrowed money. I borrowed $2,000 from a friend to start the business, which really is not the capital that is required. You need $805 or 295,000 naira or 3,925 Ghana cedis to start your business. And even in worst case scenarios, you need 59,200 or 785 Ghana cedis or $161 to start your business. So I came into the business with a borrowed money. And starting this business in the last 19 months has been transformational, not only financially, but also health-wise. I've seen smiles on my wife's face as she started using this product, because some of the issues that she probably was having and didn't tell me have been wiped away with this product. But the greatest takeaway from this business has been the journey of growth. The friendship that we have formed, the relationship that we have formed globally. I was privileged to meet Michelle and Dr. Khan in Philippines. I met so many other people in Egypt, in Nigeria. We have multiple friends in multiple cities. I mean, these are all assets, because your net worth, they say, is your asset. So apart from finances, apart from good health, we have been able to build some formidable relationships across all fields. If I need a lawyer, I don't need to hustle. I have so many lawyer friends to call, doctor friends to call, accountant friends. All kind of people are in this business. And our journey is almost the same. Each and every one of us at a point had something lacking in our time when we saw Emery. For some, it was lack of money. For some, it was lack of time. For some, it was poor health. And so coming into Emery has given us the opportunity to be able to reverse all these situations in our lives and in the lives of so many other people. For me, as a presenter, one of the things I do in the Growth Center is I take the opportunity to observe people as they are coming in. And many people come into our Growth Center very downcast. But by the end of our presentation, their faces become lifted up. You see that these people now have hope. They are going home with hope. And even if they don't do Emery, at least you have given them hope that there is a life out there. It is still possible. There's something that they can do. And so Emery has taken me from a position of having no money in 19 months ago to earning multiple thousands of dollars. Multiple thousands of dollars. Then Emery has given me the opportunity to travel, one to the UAE, travel to the Philippines, travel to Egypt, across Nigeria multiple times. As you speak, Emery actually owed me a one-star director trip. If not for Corona, from what I heard in the grapevine, I'll probably have been in somewhere in Europe or America on a conference sponsored by Emery. And by the grace of God, we now have other one-star directors, which will make that trip more enjoyable. So Emery has given us that opportunity to travel. And the beautiful thing is that you are traveling and you don't need to be worried about your business, because you are away from your business, but you can still earn. I remember in Royal Crimson Hotel in Philippines, I had the chance to earn $3,200 way away in Philippines from Ghana. And so that is the beauty of our business. Emery has given me the opportunity to own a brand new car, and my wife, we are just about to buy a car for my wife, all from the same $2,000 that we invested in this business 19 months ago. And it has been the same story for other people. So for us in Emery, The future is really bright. We look forward to an amazing future. People are talking of the potential of 6% daily, but Mayan, for where I stand right now, 1% daily is
Wow.
amazing. In the last 6 months, from the 14th of December, every single day, Emery has paid me an income.
Wow.
Monthly income is good, weekly
Yes.
income is good, but daily income
Daily.
is definitely better. And
Wow.
sometimes there are some days the income that you earn is almost more than somebody's monthly income. And that reminds me of a book I read and an audio I listened to by Bob Proctor. What will you do if your annual income become your monthly income? At that point, most people had no option than to fire their bosses. And so this has been our marriage journey in 19 months. It's been amazing, amazing, amazing. And it's going to get better and better and better. Thank you.
Wow, in the journey of only, take note, only 19 months, and
19
a lot of
months.
yes, a lot of achievement has been mentioned, okay? I've been hearing few times your success story, sir, but I will never get tired of listening to your story. It really is motivating and very inspirational for every one of us. So my last question for you, Mr. Sekpe, what is your message to all women and even men on this platform?
Well, what I'll say is that we live in the midst of the greatest opportunity right now, whether you are a lady or you are a man, because what a man can do, a lady can do, and we have proven so far. We have seen so many achievers coming from our ladies as well as men. And so for people listening to this call now or later, what I would say is that we should seize this amazing opportunity and platform that is created for us to create generational impact and to leave a legacy not only for our family, but a legacy of our names in the hearts of people. For me, one of the reasons why I normally travel around to do presentations is for a very selfish reason, and that is who will cry when I die. I want so many people across so many countries and different continents to be affected by my death. And so, if there's an opportunity to touch somebody's life, I'll touch such a person's life. So, I want all our mothers, all our sisters, all our wives, all our daughters to seize this opportunity and begin to create an income for themselves through this platform, because this is an opportunity that is equal pay. Now, in many operations, in many workplaces, though women and men do the same work, the salary scale is different. But when I finished the board and became a director, I was paid the same amount that Madam UNESCO was paid yesterday. When John Mukoro became a director, Madam Lioness was paid for director bonus the same amount. And we have even seen that Lioness income outstrip some of us guys our income. So we have an opportunity for our mothers, wives, daughters, and sisters right here, which is an equal paying opportunity that allows them to express themselves whichever way they want. But the greatest stake for all my sisters on this opportunity is that it's an opportunity to take hold of your life, take hold of your family, to control the direction of your family, because you are not going to go out there and chase elusive income where you leave home and come home late day after day after day without recourse to how your family is growing. With the comfort of your home, in the comfort of your home, you could build a business attending to other issues of life and still make reputable income that will earn the respect of your spouse, earn the respect of your children, and the respect of your family. It also gives you time freedom, the freedom to be where you want to be with the people you want to be with. And for our ladies, this comes naturally. Like Lioness, you say, our mothers, wives, and daughters are incubators. They are the givers of life. They are chit-chatters. They are nurturers. And this business is naturally for people who have the ability to nurture. And so that comes naturally to ladies. So if there's anybody who have huge potential to succeed in this business, it's our mothers, wives, daughters, and sisters. And all I want to say is that the time for women is now. Let's take hold of this and let's make it happen. Thank you.